Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everyone. Wow. For the next few weeks, we're going to be telling you stories about some brave women in the Bible, women who dared to do the right thing. One day in the land of Persia, long, long ago, the king was looking for a new queen. He decided to have a competition to find the most beautiful woman in the whole country. Out of hundreds of women, he chose a girl called Esther. I wonder why. Let's open the book at the story, Esther Was a Star.
Esther was a star, a beautiful Jewish girl chosen by the king of Persia to be his queen. Esther had an uncle called Mordecai, who was very kind. When Esther's parents died, he raised her as his own daughter, and she was made queen. But he warned her not to tell the king that she was Jewish. And so the king was clueless. He loved Queen Esther, but he didn't know that she was a Jew. Haman was horrible and a racist. He was the king's right-hand man, and he loved nothing as much as pushing people around, and he particularly hated Jewish people. One day, Haman was walking through the city when he met some of the king's other servants.
Bow to me.
Horrible Haman said, "Bow. Come on, children, we must all bow down." All the people bowed, except for Mordecai.
I will bow before no one but God.
Haman was furious. He went straight to the king to seek his revenge.
There is a troublesome race of people in our land who worship a different God. They are the Jews, Your Majesty. Give me permission, and I will do away with them all.
The king was clueless. So he told horrible Haman to kill every Jew in the land, not knowing that he was condemning his own queen to die. When Mordecai heard the news, he went to Esther.
Go to the king and do what you can to save us.
But I have to wait for the king to invite me into his presence. If I go without an invitation, the law of the Persians says that he has the right to kill me.
You must go anyway, whatever the risk. God puts people in places just at the right time, so they can do what he wants. God has put you in the palace to save your people.
Esther was a star. So Esther went to see the king, and far from being angry, the king was delighted to see her.
What do you want, my darling?
I want to have a dinner party, and I want to invite your right-hand man, Haman.
The king agreed. The date was set, and horrible Haman was happy. He'd been building a horrible, horrid hanging machine in his garden where he hoped to murder Mordecai. And the queen's invitation made him happier still. But when he got to the party, horrible Haman was suddenly not so happy.
I have some very sad news. Someone wants to see me dead. And not only me, but all of my people too.
Who is this? Tell me, and I will see that they're dead.
There he is.
and she pointed at Haman.
I don't understand. I have nothing against you.
Yes, you do, for I am a Jew, and you mean to kill us all.
The king was no longer clueless. He saw everything clearly now. He loved his queen. He didn't care that she was a Jew, but he was very angry with Haman.
Put him to death.
And so Haman was hanged on his very own hanging machine. But Esther and Mordecai and all their people lived on to return to their own land. And all because Esther was a star.
Esther, Mordecai, and all their people were saved. Just imagine how the story might have ended if Esther hadn't been brave enough to speak to the king. Esther's uncle was wise enough to see that God had placed her in the palace at just the right time. He encouraged Esther to trust God and speak to the king. Close your eyes now and think about the times when you are scared to speak out. Perhaps God can help you to be brave like Esther too. And now I'm going to say a prayer. And if you want to make it your prayer, say Amen after me. Dear God, Esther must have been very scared going to see the king. Thank you that you helped her when she was frightened. When we are frightened, please help us to speak out too. Amen. Thank you for listening to our story again. Hope to see you again soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.